Good morning everybody, how is all going? Yep, they got a roof on. It's grey or wallaby, but I don't know why they call it wallaby. It doesn't look like wallaby grey to me. Anyway, there's Siggy's tomatoes are going absolutely marvellous. Look at those. It's a productive little garden, that. Alright, we've done some work in here. I tell you, as stuff arrives, I can't wait for the new deer to arrive and get rid of this noisy thing. But we'll tell you about it in a second. What work have I done? Okay, I've put the last fan in. That's that one there. So now I've got three fans. I've got that black one, then I've got this very super powerful German one. It's tiny, but it probably puts out as more air or as much air as that one and that one up there combined. This one has a false ceiling in it, so we couldn't put the cover in here, but we got the cover on this one. Okay, so what's the whole idea of those fans, and why have you got three, Chris? Alright, well, three's two, two's one, one's none. That's the order of the breakdowns. Okay, so if you've got one fan and something goes wrong and it stops working, you've got none. If you've got two and one stops, you've got one. If you've got three and one stops, you've still got two. Now, the black ducted ones, that's these two switches. These two, well, they are a switch. They're a thermotically controlled switch, and they seem to be working pretty good. Now this one's, you'll notice the difference in temperatures. This one's at 35.2 already. Its switch is right above the deer. There it is there, it's thermal sensor. Alright, the thermal sensor for this one will be there. It will be in the middle of the deer and this one, because we're still keeping this one. We're going to turn this one into a battery charger. More about that in a minute. And the thermal switch for the if nothing works and it's the last one. Now I did mention a false ceiling in that room there, and you can see it, or you can't really see it, but there's a gap there. Its thermal switch is there. So as you can imagine, the heat, if it builds up, it travels across the top. It'll be in there and turn that fan on. Alright, inlets. The inlet, we've got one here and down inside this wall here, so it can suck in and suck up and through here. The other one is well, you can't really see it, but it's a vermin proof one on this side of the wall, a little bit lower, to get cool air, but it'll all work really well. Now, as a battery charger, most of you that have watched my long videos know I've only got a, well, they call it a 3.2 kVA or generator. I think it's a 2.8, but it's an electric start. It's down the shed. We've used it for many years now. We used to use it through a charge controller, an MPPT charge controller. So when the deer comes on this wall here, this is going over here, and this is a generator cable. It goes to a box in there, and then it's got some heavy wires that go down to the shed. These wires here, this is a 6mm 3 core. That's twin and earth. So that'll go into this, and then when Ziggy starts the generator, this thing automatically turns on, and it will charge the batteries at whatever amps we program this to charge. They work very well as a battery charger, and I'm not putting solar or anything on it because it's got these, you hear they go all the time, they don't stop. They're just going all the time. It drives me crazy. My last ones didn't do that. Anyway, that's that aside. Okay, so that's the fans explained. And yeah, we've got this power board up here. It's a pretty good power board. It's one of the best I've ever seen. It's got a surge protector, power switch, little USB things, and it's got 6 power points in it, and this one's further apart, so I can use this. It is really good on the wall there. Yeah, we're pretty happy. The missus found that yesterday. And I'm still, this is all off here because I'm still waiting for the solar, the last 1500 watts of solar to be converted to high volt, and there's the circuit breaker for it there, and that will give us 3 kilowatts of solar on this Dia when it gets here, and this one here's got 7.5 kilowatts of solar on it. So if we're away and something goes wrong with this one, the Dia in here with the 3 kilowatts of solar on it will carry the loads. Okay, no worries at all. But I'm basically setting this up to show you how easy it is to do a grid tie. We've got the communications cable already connected here, all waiting to go. And basically I'm just waiting on a Dia to get here now. The cabinet is done, except for one string of solar and the Dia, and then we can sort this mess out here. Once we know where the Dia is going, then this can all be trimmed and fitted in nicely, and this can all be trimmed. This one will be over here. This one can all get trimmed, and then we have a dedicated battery charger. That's all that will become is a dedicated battery charger. And yeah, that's fairly simple. The Dias work really well. They're rock steady. 232 volts, 50 hertz. You can see that there on this, because the Dia's powering this right now. I just love these Dias. You know, they make hardly any noise. At the moment, that's what we're doing right now. That's live. That's right now. All right. That's what's coming in at solar. It is early in the morning, so there's not much about yet. It's yeah, I just love them, and the information and the logs they give me are brilliant. But these ducted fans, they make a lot less noise than this does, and they shift a lot of air. All right, but we're going to just keep this one in here just as a battery charger. So the little generator, because we had a little generator through this Dia, and it was trying to run the loads and then charge the batteries, and it's only, you know, 2.8. I mean, it was a big ask. So we're putting it back the way we've always had it on this one. All right, so that's a pretty good update for you. Let us know what's going on. I'm going to be home alone today. The missus is going for a girls' day out today. Good luck to her. I hope she has an absolute ball. Alright everyone, so this is going to be the off-grid system, and this is going to be a backup system that's, well, you'll see it when it's finished. Basically I just want to show the grid tied people how, you know, if they're getting 40 cents they can still have a grid tie, okay, with a DER inverter that can still feed to the grid. It's just one tick in one box, and they can do it to work in with peak and off-peak pricing, and you know, they can just switch to their house. At the moment in Western Australia, I don't think households pay any difference for peak power. I don't think the pricing difference in what you use, it's only what you export, and the new ones are during peak periods. When the demand's high, the West Australian government, and it is the West Australian government because it's wasted power and Sin Energy are both government run, have decided that they will only give you 2.5 cents a kilowatt during peak times. And because of the power fluctuations we get in our power grid, and I've noticed this a lot, look, so many people have commented, oh, my grid tie just turns off because the power's too high. Do Western Power do that deliberately? No, they don't. Okay, that would just, I mean, I wouldn't even entertain that thought. What happens is, because we have a centralised power system, whereas all of our power currently gets produced in Collie, it's got to be pumped hundreds and thousands of kilometres over power lines all over Western Australia. So it's a transformer issue at the receiving ends, because they pump it down in incredibly high volts, and then they transform it, and if the transformers aren't big enough, then you get massive power surges, and which is why I'm off grid now, because the power surges were exploding light globes, blowing up fridges, blowing up power supplies in the TV, the power supplies in my computers, and it was costing me an absolute fortune. And I made Western Power give me back all that money that I spent repairing shit, and told them to remove the power from my house. And right now in Western Australia, look, we've just been through a massive power outage. I mean, it's gone on for nearly 2 weeks. There's still people without power. It's a shocker. It is a real shocker, okay? Our grid system in Western Australia is a shocker, all right? We had 5 of those towers blow down in high winds, 5 of those really, really big high volt towers. We had some of those going through our property in Southern Cross, okay? And I had never, ever, ever, ever seen them inspected. Never, ever. And they are meant to stand up to high winds, but because they were so old, and Western Power need to listen to this, there's such a thing called metal fatigue. And those towers move, okay? In high winds, they get a wriggle and they move. And they vibrate, and that causes metal fatigue in all the metal and the bolts and everything else. And of course, you know, one day they're just going to say, I've had enough of standing up, I'm going to lay down now. And that's exactly what happened. Five of the towers laid down, okay? And yeah, they're not designed to just stand 30-40 years without even being inspected or anything like that. It's called maintenance, people. Maintenance. We do it on our small off-grid systems. You need to do it in a larger scale. And yeah, anyway, I'm not going to get on about them, about maintenance, because it's obviously a huge issue. All the rotten power poles and everything everywhere else, it's just, yeah. And the fires Western Power starts through power poles falling over and shorts and all branches falling on power lines which they should have cleared. It's just do yourselves a favour, people. If you've got a grid tie, okay, once I've finished this system, just come down and copy it, you know. A lot of people do that. And if you want to go off grid, you know, I mean, we've set this up so people can come and look, and they do. They come from all over Australia, all right, and you know, we'll give them a cuppa and talk to them for a few hours and talk to the wife, because find out what she needs and coffee makers and all that sort of stuff, and then you can work out how many kilowatts they need. And I mean, I've used massive amounts of power during the day, but it's like with this massive air conditioner behind me, but that gets all covered by the sun. It doesn't come out of my batteries. My batteries are only for when there's no sunshine. That's of a night time or on cloudy days. And on cloudy days it's not hot, so I don't need to run massive loads. It's a balancing act, and it's one we perform really, really well when it comes to using stored power from the sunshine. And let's face it, people, okay, once you pay for your system, this is free electricity. All right, we've been doing it for, I don't know, 12 years more, and I mean, every system I put in has been paid for by the previous system. It's actually cost me nothing. Yes, but how do I work? Well, how I work that out is in the bills I would have got, and the bills are just going up and up and up. They're incredible now. I don't know how people can afford to pay them. But the money I have saved has paid for every single system after my first one. So it is free power, okay? It's free electricity, okay? 100% free. Once you finish paying for your first system, it is free. And your first system will last long enough, and if you ever need to put another system in, that'll be 100% free, because it's already paid for. Well, that fan noise is driving me crazy. Anyway, so there is such a thing called free electricity. Okay, we've been using it for years, and yeah, this has cost money, but it's money that's already been paid for. If I was paying electricity bills, okay, for all the years I've been off grid, and the amount of power we use here, especially on hot summer days, okay, it's just the way to go. It's the way to go, people. Okay, solar power is free, okay? Once you pay for your first system, anything you need to do after that, you will, if you do your maths, you will find having no bills, no monthly line fees, no auxiliary charges for giving you bills. I mean, they even charge you for the office work to give you a bill now. It's ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna stop. You know, Chris. I got a bit of a bee in my bonnet about paying for something that should be free. And yeah, I just refuse to do it. Since I've been off grid, look, Ziggy and I have never ever looked back. We don't even think about going on grid now. Okay, we've just never looked back. Okay. We've never felt bad about it or anything. And we're so happy with it that I started a YouTube channel, you know, to share it with yous and to help yous and to teach yous, and it's helped and many people. Okay, so stop paying for something that should be free. Okay, solar's not expensive as it was anymore. Battery prices are coming down. All the time. Just make sure you do it right, so you're not always having problems. Use the right gear, the right inverters, the right batteries. Basically, if you copy what I've done here, you will have many, 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 many years. I mean, I'm looking for at least 16 trouble-free years once I've got this all up and running, and yeah, just brilliant. Alright, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps our channel immensely, and again, I really appreciate that. Comment, ask any questions you want. If you're a local in Western Australia and you're thinking about this, then by all means, you know, message and we can arrange a visit down here and a cuppa, and we can talk about the issues, and I can give you some discount codes to help you. You know, it's I deal with some people. I don't make any money from this. You know, I might make a few cents from the video. I don't make any money. You know, I don't make any money by giving you codes or anything like that. I'm doing it to help you, and hopefully more and more people will realise that, you know, paying for something that should be free is just wrong. It's just wrong, okay? Alright, keep safe everybody. Bye for now.